Hello, welcome to the Human Race page. Today's message is how you can use your pineal gland to help you make more and better decisions in your life, both personal and business. I know from the text that you're excited about seeing your picture drawn. Very accurate picture of you, by the way. In fact, it's a picture of every human being on the face of this earth. And here it is. That right there. Yeah, I know it doesn't look quite like you, but you see the blue line down in the center? That's more important than anything else. That centers you. That is your pineal gland centering. You see, everyone knows that there's only one silence in the entire universe, only one stillness that all motion goes back to. That silent stillness is at the center of every cell in your body. So if you got a billion cells, do you have a billion stillnesses? No, not quite. Just one stillness that everything extends to. I call this blue line the violin string because the pineal gland is your light of stillness that centers between the two lobes of the brain and back of the head. Very little is known about this area of the brain. The pineal gland is kind of a mystery to most scientists. Dr. Walter Russell was the first one I ever read that brought up the real purpose of the pineal gland. I want to show you an experience, or give you an experience of how the pineal gland works in your life. You've experienced it, you may not realize it. So for right now, I'd like for you to use your imagination and go back to a time when you saw a beautiful sunset. Maybe you were standing on the back porch, driving home from work, or like I do, or perhaps on the ocean shores. A beautiful sunset, bright yellows and reds and oranges and purple colors. Now realize that there is actually two of you observing this sunset. There's two of you. One is your body with your eyes. Now those eyes see the colors and tones and forms of that sunset. However, your eyes cannot see beauty. Your eyes cannot know beauty, period. It is your pineal gland, the center of you, and the marks of the soul that go around the inside. It's sort of like the numbers on a clock. Each of the marks on your soul are sort of like the marks around the face of a clock. And those marks will be played out in your life. It's what some religions call the karma in your life. Now, the purpose of the pineal gland is it centers all things in the universe. We'll get on to that later. For now, you need to know the ancient Egyptians put a lot of value in expressing their violin string. You see, their violin string, I'll show you again, the center of you is that blue line. That's your violin string. Once it's vibrated, like the sunset vibrated your pineal gland string, then you experience beauty. Creatures of all kinds, monkeys and other creatures, can see color and form, but they cannot know real beauty the way the human being does. And the reason for that is very simple. All creation is equal physically, but not all creation is equal mentally and spiritually. The base of this pyramid is the mineral world. It's how the earth started out. If you've been reading on the creation page, you know what I'm talking about. Other stages come along later as water comes on the planet and works with the very basis on up. As each stage goes by, more and more of creation is played out or manifested, you might say. The peak of this wonderful place in creation is the human body, the human being. That human being will develop physically first. That's where we're at now. We're just now reaching the stage of physical unfoldment, and now we're ready. In the last 15,000 years, we're more ready to develop our spiritual side. We have a long way to go. The idea that we are fully developed and where it's about over with is not at all true. We have a long way to go, as I've said. This value, these people of the ancient Egyptians had a value of giving inspiration to the rest of their civilization. They were taught that naturally. They were not taught by a religion or an education. This was taught to them naturally. If you'll read on the creation page, you'll find out just exactly why that happened. They did not come along. The age of character of the ancient Egyptians was taught purely from within, from God within. And what you want to do is develop your skills of extending your pineal gland inspiration. You want to vibrate other people's violin strings. You know, there's an old story about if you had 1,000 violins in one room and all of them were perfectly tuned together except for one, you could pluck one string on one of those violins and that same string would vibrate on all the violins, 999 of those 1,000 violins, except that one that's out of tune. It would not vibrate. And that's where we're at as human beings now. We are centered by this violin string thing, and we do not value giving inspiration in the form of poetry or painting or sculpture. And you say, well, yeah, we have a whole world of art. It must center every single human being, must be willing and desirous of giving from the pineal gland in order to knit the love into this society, this civilization that we need. This is what's meant by the ancient Egyptian saying, give only that which makes you loved by all, not just by an individual. You must further understand that the only time you ever experience love for your children, for your pets, for anything, is the pineal gland. The pineal gland is the only thing that can love something else. Bodies do not love each other. As time goes on, I will explain this more and more scientifically and help you to better understand it. The best way to reach your pineal gland is through the practice of meditation, and that's what my site is all about. I'm here to help you find your pineal gland, the light, the ecstatic light that centers you. That's my work and my purpose. I have a lot more to talk about here. I've got a lot to show you about how the solar system, the mechanics of the solar system. In my next video will explain more as to why you have a pineal gland. There isn't one human ever born on this earth, no matter how deformed they are, no matter what condition they're in, that does not have a pineal gland. Thank you so much. Those reincarnations from other people, like Michelangelo and poets and sculptors, inspire you today. Their creations inspire you today because you know your pineal gland, and they knew their pineal gland. Their bodies do not have to exist. That's what I say. They extended love from their pineal gland, and it's eternal. Love is eternal. Just that last comment makes this whole video worthwhile. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful and ecstatic day.